She's Back, Your Guide to Returning to Work. Lisa Unwin and Deb Khan. Urbane Publications, 2018. Many useful tips to understand how the recruiting market really works. Create a story that explains your worth. Mobilize a network that supports your ambitions. Find a job that is good for you. Learn the strategies, tools, techniques, and tactics needed to get back to work after a break. Examples, personal stories, lists, and exercises designed to give you achievable ideas and the right motivation. Take advantage of the right time to make a change. Thanks to the digital revolution, today we have the opportunity to work in many different and more flexible ways. The author. Lisa Unwin is the founder of She's Back, a company whose purpose is to help businesses to access the unique talent of women who return to work after a long break. Former partner of Arthur Andersen Business Consulting and Brand and Communication Director of Deloitte, Lisa had a 20-year-long career in business services before founding She's Back. Deb Khan has combined two successful careers, leveraging her creative arts background. She has a proven track record as a leadership, team performance, and change consultant for numerous companies in various sectors, from advertising to the media, from technology to charity, right up to education. Women and their return to work. Women need to work, and they want to work. They are good at their jobs. They have brilliant careers, but they also want to have children and take care of sick family members. They are also good at this. For thousands of women, finding the balance between work and family becomes impossible. Lack of flexibility at work forces them to choose family, and when circumstances change and they could return to work, they find the door is no longer open. This book is written for women who have had to interrupt their career, for those who, for any reason, have had to take a step back, and for anyone who hopes to find meaning and balance in their business life. The She's Back Manifesto, designed for women. The goal is to help women build meaningful and sustainable careers throughout their working life. It is becoming more and more unlikely nowadays to have careers that continue steadily from start to retirement. There will be several changes along the way. You could end up hating the career you have chosen, finding a new passion, experiencing health problems, taking time to raise your children, or caring for elderly relatives. Your career will have to reflect these changes. Women need to be able to build flexible careers that develop at different speeds, that can allow room for interruptions. This goal is supported by fundamental beliefs. 1. Life is long, complex, and chaotic. 2. Work adds something to our life. 3. Our value does not derive exclusively from work. 4. Being a parent develops a new set of skills. 5. Ageism is pernicious, widespread, and wrong. 6. We should be free to choose. A snapshot of the current situation of women and the world of work. The situation of many women today is as follows. Women's careers are interrupted. There is a lack of women in managerial positions in all sectors. There is a persistent gender pay gap. There are women who work in roles for which they are overqualified. Women who take work breaks that end up lasting forever, and they have limited options when they decide to return to work. But today is also the right time to change. A woman who returns to work after a break can be an asset to new businesses and startups that need to grow. Why? Women are brilliantly organized and they use their time effectively. These new companies seek result-oriented leaders. Women are resourceful. They have 20 years of experience on and off the job. They are creative and capable of using lateral thinking to solve problems. Women are hungry. After years of putting others first, now it's their turn and they will work hard. Women are convenient. Why hire someone full-time when that same job can be done in less time by an expert and efficient person, focused on obtaining the result in the shortest possible time. Women are an investment, not a responsibility. Women are self-aware and know how to work in a team. They are mature and they don't need supervision. Their difference is their strength. Their ideas are better and the environment is more fun when it is varied. The benefits for businesses in hiring a woman. Having more women among employees brings a number of benefits to companies. They represent the customer base. Over 75% of consumer decisions are made by women. Brain drain is a cost. Many companies spend a fortune in hiring and training bright women, only to see them leave after 7 or 8 years. Increased transparency. Thanks to social media, everyone can find out what companies do and who works there. The lack of women managers in a company can discourage talented young women. The loss of invaluable social and intellectual capital. Women take many years of trusting relationships with them when they leave. Technology has just begun to influence the way we work. Agility, communication, flexibility, and collaboration are fundamental to succeed in a connected world. These are all strengths that women have always demonstrated. Change mentality to return to the working world. Before looking at job sites, you need to do a search in your head. Often it is the stories we tell ourselves that keep us from returning to work and enjoying the success we deserve. We create false excuses that limit our expectations and ambitions. We often look at ourselves, at others, and at the world through mental models that are deeply rooted in our subconscious, which originate from our background that tells us a pre-packaged truth about ourselves and how things are. If we want to progress, we must challenge and reject them. The key to unlocking these mental models is to first of all reveal them for what they are, and then gather evidence to verify whether they are true or not. Use a table like the following one. Write down your mental models, the evidence that confirms them, and the contradictory evidence. Mental model. The family couldn't manage without me. Proof. I take my children to school, cook all the meals, do the housework, take care of the administration. Case against it. I have never asked anyone else to do these tasks on my behalf. Mental model. I am too old. Proof. Anyone who works here is 20 years younger than me. I'm too old to learn new methods and technologies. Case against it. Except the manager, who is the same age as me. I just learned to use Hootsuite. Our population is aging. Mental model. I am irrelevant. My skills are not up to date. Proof. Everyone only talks about digital marketing these days, and I don't know anything about it. Case against it. I know the perspective of a female consumer very well. I use apps and platforms on a regular basis. Mental model. I can't go back to the same work level because I need flexibility. Proof. In my previous job, nobody in a senior position worked part-time. Case against it. The Time-Wise Power 50 list shows that there are many people who have excellent flexible jobs. Your CV must tell your story. You are a 35/45/55-year-old woman with previous work experience, perhaps with a degree or qualification of some kind, with the ambition of returning to work and a worrying gap in your CV. Where do you start from? You need a story. It must be short and capable of connecting with people who could get you a job interview, an opening, and finally a job. The elements of your story. Your strengths, your talents, whether you work better alone or in a team, in structured or unstructured environments. Your professional skills, your background, your experience. Your qualifications, in which sectors you have worked, in what type of companies, large, small, public, private. What languages you speak, what important projects you have carried out, which technologies or systems you are expert in. What interests you, what you really like, what makes you feel alive, what you really love. What have you been doing since you left? Whatever you did outside of work added extra value to your skills and experience. Acknowledge these values. How all this translates into what you want to do now. You have to put it all together and create your story, short, coherent, and memorable. A few sentences that explain who you are, what interests you, and the link with what you want to do now. The strategy to create a useful network to find a new job. A network is a supportive community. Research has shown that you are 4 times more likely to find a job through your own network than through a recruitment agency. Building your network is the most important part of finding a job. Networking is, above all, finding many people to help. It is an act of generosity. Be curious about everyone you meet. Ask and listen. Concentrate on being interested, not interesting. Have some jokes ready for networking events. People are not interested in what you do, your role, but in who you really are. Create a list of relevant contacts within your current network. Alumni associations, courses you attend, professional support groups, people you meet at the gym, volunteer groups, relatives, neighbors, all the people you come in contact with. Think about how you could help them. Let them know what you're looking for. Find ways to talk to them. People are happy to help. Identify groups that could expand your network. There are many people who share your interests and skills. You can start online on Facebook or LinkedIn. If there are no groups that correspond to your passions, skills, and interests, create one yourself. The tools for the job market, guidelines for creating a CV, improving your LinkedIn profile, and preparing for an interview. Much has changed in the job market, but you still need a CV, a LinkedIn profile, and to do a job interview. Here are some guidelines for drafting a CV. Length: no more than 2 pages. Style: write in the third person. Personal details: name and contacts, address, telephone, email, link to your LinkedIn profile, or to your website if you have one. Personal statements: schematic presentation about you, summarizing why you should be hired. Key competencies: be specific. Avoid skills that are too basic or generic. Look at the job description and think about the competencies necessary for the role you are applying for. Work experience. This section should provide sufficient evidence that you are able to do the job. Chronologically show the most significant experiences for the role you are applying for. Focus on the results you have achieved. LinkedIn. LinkedIn is the ideal way to reconnect with the people you've worked with in the past, who might introduce you to someone. It's used by recruiting agencies and anyone who wants to understand who you are. There are more than 500 million people on LinkedIn. It is the platform on which you can build your future. Use a professional photo, not a snapshot taken on vacation. Smile. Create a compelling summary. A reader must have a clear idea of who you are and how you can add value to their organization. Tell the story of your career and your successes, your main skills, and what you want to do in the future. Detail your experience by making sure you use the keywords that are relevant to the position you aspire to. Connect with people. You can start with old colleagues. Follow the people you admire and care about. Choose influencers, people who work in your field and share interesting articles. Join some groups. There are many. People with common interests or with your own skills. Follow the companies and people you would like to work with. Let recruiters know that you are available for new opportunities. Interview. Whatever the medium, live, over the phone, or via Skype, here are some tips to handle a job interview. 1. It's a two-way conversation. It's not just about you. Listen to what the recruiter has to say. You'll need it to find out what's important to them and to adjust your answer. 2. Do some background research on the company, on the vacant role, and on the person who is going to do the interview. You must show enthusiasm. Create empathy with the recruiter. 3. Prepare your opening sentences. They will ask you to talk about yourself. Be ready. It is an opportunity to introduce yourself and to make a good first impression. 4. Whatever questions they ask, they want to know if you are able to do the job. The things they want to know, no matter how they are formulated, are A. Why you want this job. B. What you can do for them. C. If you are the right person. D. What sets you apart from other candidates. E. If you can agree on terms that are suitable for both parties. 5. They will ask you if you have questions for them. Prepare them in advance. They can be about the sector, future trends, the company, their positioning and their strategy, your specific role or the person who is interviewing you. 6. Manage risk. There will be elements where your CV and your experience does not fit perfectly with what the company is looking for. Find ways to deal with any problems that may arise. 7. Answer clearly, concisely, and with confidence. 8. Do exercises to prepare yourself. Think about what you will have to say about yourself and create your own script. Practice rehearsing it by heart, out loud, with a relaxed pace and in front of an audience to get some feedback. The plan of attack to re-enter the job market. The job market is a place where workers compete for the best jobs and companies compete for the best talent. It's a competition. Be prepared to compete. Have a plan. Be methodical. Clearly identify the field in which you are most likely to win, where you are most competitive, in which skills do you have an advantage. Make a list of the organizations you would like to work for. Identify the magazines and newsletters, the websites and the platforms where interesting job offers are published. Find out who the recruiters are and who is hiring people with your skills. Build your contact base and identify who you should ideally connect with. Use LinkedIn systematically to bring up opportunities and to connect with people who are hiring. How to negotiate flexibility. Flexibility is the most important thing for women that want to restart their career. Flexible work arrangements include several solutions, such as working full-time but fewer days a week, or working more hours in certain periods and less in others, or flexible office times, entrance/exit, or the possibility of working entirely or partially from home, and so on. How to negotiate flexibility. First of all, focus on the job, on why you are perfect for that role, and on what you will bring to the company. Determine exactly which business models might work for you. Create a series of alternative scenarios that could be adapted to your needs. Clarify exactly what activities that role entails, what are the objectives and responsibilities. Provide proof that you are able to do what is required in the way you propose. Reflect on any possible objection you may receive. Discuss the boundaries of your work, when you are available for calls, when you will reply to emails, etc., and what support you will need. Make arrangements for how to handle emergencies or requests outside the norm. Quotes. Don't take for granted that this break made you unable to perform a job you once excelled at. Don't be harsh on yourself. Ask for help. Stop striving for perfection. Take-home message. Women's careers follow different trajectories from those of men, less linear. It is important to have a long-term vision. Life is long and complex. We must build a work path that contemplates the alternation of different phases. The good news is that the digital revolution is opening up new job prospects by offering everyone the opportunity to find the right balance and realize their potential.